Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwahn, and we're just going to kind of chat a little bit about Theatrhythm Final Bar Line, because the demo came out and we played the demo, and it was a surprising experience. So just as a little bit of like foundational work. So Theatrhythm Final Bar Line, it's going to be releasing on February 16th, 2023. It's only going to be releasing on PlayStation and Switch. It's a rhythm game that focuses mainly on the Final Fantasy franchise, although at least in this release, there are tracks included from other Square Enix properties. And this is a console release of this, and it's kind of like a definitive edition of previous Theatrhythm games, because they were originally, I believe, only on the DS series, and they came with this like peripheral that you'd plug in and turn into like a Guitar Hero game. I never played them because they were more expensive, because they came with the little peripheral, right? And I just didn't use my DS very much at the time. I think I was busy playing World of Warcraft or God knows what. But so the gameplay of these is that it's a pretty standard rhythm game, right? You got buttons that come down a track, Rock Band style or Guitar Hero or Step Mania or whatever it is that you've played. The interesting thing about these, though, is even though there's 4 tracks, you can actually hit any button. You can hit the D-pad buttons, you can hit the face buttons, you can hit the triggers. All of those will work for no matter where it is on the track. There are a couple of inputs that have a direction on them, and you hit those directions with your joysticks. And it has a pretty standard rhythm, like rating system of good, bad, great. But instead of like perfect or whatever they call it in other games, it's a critical. And the reason it's called a critical is because while you're playing the songs, you have a party of adventurers, Final Fantasy style, with characters from across the Final Fantasy games that are going through a journey, and they'll like fight monsters from the games that they are from, and they can level up and get spells and items and summons and stuff. So it's not just a rhythm game. Like, there definitely is a grade at the end, and of course you could go for full combos and stuff, but it also has this like RPG element to it. So I mean, that's really cool because it's just another layer of depth and engagement within the game. And one of the things that's crazy to me about this upcoming game is the sheer amount of content that's in it, okay? The base game, which is $50, the base game comes with 385 tracks. That's an insane number. That's a ridiculous number of songs. But if you get any version of the deluxe edition, you get 27 bonus songs, and then there's 90 songs coming in DLC for a total of 502 tracks, which is an absurd number. That's insane. There's over 100 characters that you can collect. I don't know how many summons or items or other things that you can get, but there's also even more beyond that. And even within those 502 songs, there are 3 or 4 difficulty options: normal, expert, ultimate, and supreme. So in a way, you're getting 502 tracks and anywhere between 1,500 to 2,000 different actual tracks that are in there, although, the music will be the same for them. So we did play the demo. We played the demo on PlayStation 5, although the demo is also available on Nintendo Switch, so if you have either of those consoles, you can play it. The demo has 30 songs available in it, and we played them all. We played about 25% of them on normal, probably about half of them on expert, and then towards the end, we upgraded the difficulty again to play the last like 25% or so of the songs on ultimate, and then just for the lulz, we played a few of them on supreme. We never finished a song on supreme. Wait, did we? I think we might have finished one really easy song on supreme. Maybe not. I don't remember. Anyway, the Supreme songs are insanely difficult, and I would need to definitely practice that game a whole lot more than a few hours with the demo to actually be able to get through them. But we had a really great time. Like, it was really fun. We played it on stream, and everyone was just kind of smiling and laughing. The characters are cute. And of course, if you have any history with Final Fantasy, you know the characters, you know the monsters, you know the worlds that they're going through. And of course, one of the most strong identifiers of Final Fantasy is the music tracks, right? Like, Square Enix is really good at a couple of things, which is visuals and music. Their stories are a little bit up in the air, and that's kind of more of your own personal preference. But for the longest time, they were always pushing the bar with visuals, and then they've always had really iconic music. And so just a game dedicated to that music is fantastic, right? The leveling up the characters was all right. I mean, it was satisfying. It gave you something of like an additional good job, because you could make progress on leveling up your characters and unlocking abilities for them, even if you didn't do well on the song, right? You got lots of misses. You got like a C. You almost lost twice because their health went down. But as you unlock their abilities, it also kind of evolves the gameplay, because in games like Rock Band or Guitar Hero, you know, you'd have like the fail bar that would go down, and as you hit more notes, it would go up, and so you'd be like building yourself away from failure. And the way that they handle that in Theatrhythm is that your characters will have abilities, and some of them will like deal more damage, but some of them will heal the party. And so when they heal the party, it increases the number of times that you can fail as the bar goes up and down. But so you could actually make the harder difficulties easier when you leveled up your party and got more healing spells, because then you would be able to heal more often and heal for more, which gave you more room for failure, which is interesting because you didn't have that option, at least in most of the Guitar Hero and Rock Band games. You might have in the later entries, but you didn't earlier on. I think I stopped at like Rock Band 3 and Guitar Hero 3. But one of the things is, though, there's this really cute combat and journey going on while you're playing. The characters are going along the bottom of the track and fighting like cute little versions of, you know, like King Behemoth or Malboros or whatever, or even bosses. Like I distinctly remember fighting Reno from Final Fantasy VII at one point, but you unfortunately don't get to see that because you're so focused on the notes going across the track and trying to hit them perfectly and stuff. But thankfully they thought of that, because when you finish a song, there's a replay feature at the end of the song. So if you want to watch your playthrough, like this is, you know, it copies your exact inputs, but it also lets you see the actual gameplay part of it as well, of actually get to see the units and stuff going across and watching them fight and them use their abilities and their specials and stuff like that. So that's cool in that aspect of it. And it even goes beyond that, because there's like some special cinematic songs that exist where there's like these full cutscenes going off in the background. You don't get to play any of those in the demo, but they show them off to you like 18 times, because it's, you know, like one of the selling points of like these cool cinematic rhythm game sections. But they were cool, and even without getting to play those, we were definitely smiling just the entire time that we played through the demo. It was such a good time. It never felt like it was I'm trying to think of the right word, like a rhythm game that's trying to defeat you, because I played the Hatsune Miku Mega Diva Mix or whatever it's called, and that's a rhythm game, and it's pretty difficult, and it definitely feels like it's just trying to be difficult. And I feel like this game was instead trying to be fun, which is great. The game also has multiplayer mechanics in it. None of the multiplayer mechanics were available in the demo, and that's tragic, because I think that they could have gotten sales strictly off of this multiplayer component. It's got 2 different multiplayers in it. One, it has co-op in it. I believe it's only couch co-op. It's 2-player, and I don't know how that works. I don't know if maybe it separates the tracks, like 2 people get the top 2 tracks and 2 people get the bottom 2 tracks, so you're only responsible for the part that you play. But the fact that it's in there at all is cool, because it's just another option to play. You can play with a friend who's over at your house, but there's also online multiplayer. I don't know if there's co-op online, but I do know that there is PvP online, up to 4 players that can all PvP against one another. You're all playing the same stage. I believe you're playing at the same difficulty. And as you succeed in the track, you will get power-ups that sabotage other players. The only example that they show you is there's 3 fat chocobos that cover up the tracks of the opposing player, so they can't see their notes as well. So kind of like the versus modes of like Tetris or like Dr. Mario and stuff, where you're like sabotaging their field, and that's how it's a versus game. It's cool. It's fun as an idea. I wish we could have gotten to try it, but it's just another bonus that exists within the game that gives you even more content. And of course, there's leaderboards. If you care about those kind of things, if you're into that, if you want to be the #1 person of, you know, fight on from Final Fantasy VII on maximum difficulty, you can go for that if you want. There is one thing though. about this game that made me pause. And that is that this game has some weird mechanics in it. They're not bad, but I didn't get to play the original Theatrhythm, so who knows? Maybe they're in those games too. But this has some mechanics that are straight out of mobile games. I've played a lot of mobile games. I've been skeezed out of some of my dollars because I really wanted that particular character. And there's a lot of mobile mechanics that are present here. There's these treasure chests that you can open, and you can get items and summons and these collectible cards out of them, which the collectible cards, there's over 1,200 of them, and the cards are like different characters and environments and enemies and music tracks and events and items and stuff that are just collectible cards, but those cards can influence the game. They can give you bonuses and stuff if you have that card. And those can be gotten from those chests, and the summons can be gotten from the chests, which feels really loot boxy. But you can't buy the chests. You can unlock the chests, and that's just strange in my opinion. It's got other really strong mobile mechanics, like there's EXP books for the characters. You can use items that are auto-consumed. There's a player card that you can customize, and then other friends can like borrow your player card so that they can use your summons and stuff. And that's just strange to me, because it's literally just missing a cash shop that wants to sell you some strange premium currency that's like rubies or emeralds or gems or gil or whatever, right? And then sells you these mechanics out of them. That's not there. It doesn't exist. So it's just got all these mobile mechanics without actually trying to scam you out of dollars, which is great. I don't necessarily mind these mechanics, but it's just weird that it's in a standard game with standard DLC monetization, right? That's just odd to me. But this game has insane value. The base game of Theatrhythm that comes with 385 songs is $50 on PlayStation 5 or Switch. For $30 more, you can get the deluxe edition, which comes with 27 bonus songs, and the first season pass, which is 30 songs. And then for a total of $100, you can get the premium deluxe edition, which includes all of the DLC for 60 additional tracks between season pass 2 and 3, or a total of 502 songs, which is crazy. That's a lot. For perspective, Rock Band 3 launched with 83 songs. Now, mind you, Rock Band 3 had to pay licensing fees and stuff. All of these tracks in Theatrhythm come from Square Enix. They own the songs, they own the rights, they don't have to pay licensing or anything like that. But also, Rock Band as a whole across all of the games has about 3,000 songs. 2,677 of those are DLC, which, holy crap, harmonics, Jesus Lord, help us all. But 3,000 songs across their entire release cycle. And this game has 502 just on its own for a flat price of $100. And even beyond that, you got tons of characters, tons of unlockables. You can customize a whole bunch of things within it. You can customize your Mog to wear different outfits. You can customize your airship and stuff like that. It's cool. There's a lot of stuff in here, and it's a really impressive product. And it's crazy. I got a few bonus thoughts. I would have loved to see a PC release of this. We might get one at some point. But one, it would allow modding. So that would allow you to use custom inputs, things like using a Guitar Hero controller or an electronic drum set or foot pedals or whatever, right? And that would be cool. It would also open the door for people to maybe be able to create custom songs. But maybe that's why they didn't put it on PC, because they didn't want people to do that. And I had a little bit of input lag on my part. Now, that could be because I was running it through a capture card to be able to play it on my computer, to be able to stream it. And rhythm games don't normally like that because they're really important on their really good timing. If I move my PlayStation 5 upstairs and connected it to the TV, I might not have that problem. And I would also like to see another difficulty, which is a difficulty where the track position matters. Because you can, like I said at the beginning, you can hit any button to be able to play it. But I would also really like to be able to see it where you could just had to hit specific buttons. And maybe you can customize the controller input, because that would be an additional level of difficulty that could even exist within the difficulty settings that already exist. Because if you had to hit certain buttons for certain tracks, that could make normal harder than it is, because it's fairly easy and approachable, and that would just be more fun in my opinion. I still think the game's really fun, but there's another different kind of fun that exists within needing to hit the correct inputs. But ultimately, Theatrhythm, final bar line, I had a lot of fun with it. I can't actually decide what system I want to buy it on because your options are PlayStation or Nintendo Switch. It'll run better and look better on PlayStation, but it's not a really graphically intense game, so it'll probably still run well on Switch, and then you get the ability to take it with you. But docked Switches on big TVs don't look that good, but it's a casual play game, right? So I don't know. There's a lot of options there, but at the end of it all, I feel like Theatrhythm, if it looks like your style of game, it's really worth your time. And at least go check out the demo. The demo's free. It's available on PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. Go see if you like it. If you do, I enjoyed it. I'm really thankful when developers and publishers put out those demos because it does let us have that opportunity to try a game, and I'm really happy that I tried out this one. But let me know what your thoughts are. If this is your first time really taking a look at Theatrhythm, let me know how you feel about it. If you played the demo or if you played the previous games, how are you feeling about the actual release of this one? Let me know. Put your thoughts down in the comments below. If you want to keep up the conversation elsewhere, two great places to do so are Discord and Twitter. Speaking of Discord, we have several channels where we can talk about different topics, including this one. And who knows, maybe we'll talk about it live on stream because we do stream on Twitch, and I would love to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel. And if you watch one of the other videos on the channel, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy.